Okay, today we're going to talk about a tool called RecordSeek. And as you can see up here, the address is just recordseek.com. And going to talk about how this has dramatically changed my enjoyment and ability to create and attach records to Family Search. Before I do that, I'm just going to show you the source box in Family Search. And I used to spend a lot of time in the source box. You can see I've got a lot in here. The funny thing is now I spend almost no time. In fact, I had to go look up what the URL for the source box was again, because it's been so long since I've been in here directly because of the help from RecordSeek. So first of all, I wanted to just share a few quotes that I pulled off of the RecordSeek website here. If you scroll down, you can see they've got various things. And I think it's way down here. They have some quotes that you can look at, etc. Here's some of the quotes that I thought were appropriate. It says, "Tree Connect was the nickname given to us by a Family Search employee. We were always RecordSeek. So we've done away with the nickname to strengthen the brand and reduce confusion." So you can see up here, I have a button called Tree Connect. This is how long I've had it. Even though they say they've gotten away from that nickname, that's what I've been used to on my web browser. Another quote, they said, "The whole reason we cite sources is to ensure we don't duplicate efforts. With our help, you ensure others are not looking for the same records you are. With citations, family fiction fades away." And I love that part of the quote, family fiction fades away. I have spent a lot of time removing what I had called family hearsay. Stories that various people in the family were sure were correct. And they put stuff into Family Search according to what they were certain was correct. But then when I was able to track down sources and stuff, it proved those stories were not correct. They were fiction. And I was able to unwind a lot of family fiction, that have been passed down through generations by actually finding sources to show what was real. Another quote, "If you have ever found or stumbled onto a great document, picture, or website of information about one of your ancestors and did not know how to create a source on Family Search or on Ancestry.com, now you can do it with a few mouse clicks and no technical expertise or programming knowledge needed. The tool does all of the heavy lifting. All you need to do is identify your ancestor so the documentation link can be attached." And that's what I'm going to show you today. Like I said, it used to be kind of laborious using the Family Search capability, but having this tool in conjunction with Family Search makes it much easier. And then this last quote, I kind of already said this myself. "It has made family history so much easier." So again, this is the site, and you can come here and peruse it yourself. But the main thing is that you can just take this little green button here called RecordSeek, and you can drag it up to your bookmark bar, and it creates this new button up here. And if you click that, then you will see it pops up this site that allows you to deal with the source for either Family Search or Ancestry.com. So it supports both. I know, we have people who use Ancestry.com a lot to build trees, etc. In our ward. I personally don't build trees in Ancestry, but I do use Ancestry a lot to find sources that I cannot find in Family Search. So I'll use this to link those sources over into Family Search and other sources that I find in other places as well. I wanted to show, so I'm going to close this window for a minute. I wanted to show this that I found when I was preparing for this. I'd not ever seen this before. This is someone else's blog, alicechilds.com. And it's talking about this record seek tool as well. So you could come here, again, come to this URL, and you can browse through this a little bit. Again, how it's talking about how it supports both Family Search and Ancestry. So while I may not show you Ancestry stuff, if you came in here, you could find out how to use it for directly in Ancestry as well. So next, I want to go to my mom in Family Search and show you how to attach a source. So I'm just going to copy her person ID here by clicking on her person ID. Now, there's other ways you can copy it, but that's how I'm copying it. And then I'm going to go to a little rinky-dink, I'm going to call it, website that's for the cemetery that my mother is buried in a little tiny township in upstate New York called Brighton Township. And she's buried in what's now called the Mountain View Cemetery. It changed names, it didn't used to be called that. So if I come here and search for my mom here, you can see actually here's my mom, my dad, and a brother. And we could find another brother in here as well, but right here is my mom. So here's how you can just quickly add a source. So I'm just going to copy or highlight this line in this website. And now I'm going to come up here to this record seek button we just added, click this button. And I'm going to say I want to create a source for Family Search. And you can see it has to do some authentication, but it popped right in here, the information that I highlighted back here on the website. Now, I mentioned this before when we talked about this a little bit. It sticks in this source created by recordseek.com. I delete that because I don't care to have that cluttering the actual information I'm trying to find. But let's look at this page for a minute here. You can see that it's filled in the source title. That's the title of this website. It's filled in the actual URL for it. Again, kind of a funny address for a URL, but it is the address. It's filled in a citation. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not seeing, should I be seeing the record seek window?
Yeah, you're not seeing record seek?
No,
No,
Ah,
I'm seeing the cemetery record.
No,
my
yeah,
apologies. Let me see if I can get it to share correctly here. You share, maybe. Okay, can you see it now?
there it is.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I thought I was just sharing this whole screen. So yeah, let's go back. So when it popped this up, in fact, let's just go back to this page. So remember, when I said I was bringing this up, I was selecting Family Search. This is what I selected, was right here. And then it popped me into here. It did an authentication, popped me into here, and it filled out the source title, the URL to this website, and the citation in the citation kind of format, as well as what I had highlighted right here. So it just did all this for me with essentially one click of a button. So now I have this information. What do I want to do with it? Well, so there's another little green box up here. It says tag this source to events. So you can click on this and you can say, oh, well, what is this website showing about my mom? Well, it's showing her name and it's showing her gender and the fact that it says she's the wife of my dad. But that's all it's really showing, although you could say, well, it's showing the burial because this is where she's buried, right? So if you come to this website, you know, she's buried here. Although it is a little confusing because it doesn't actually show her burial date, even though she has been buried. So
What's 1925?
that was her birth date, but she was also been buried. So this is her birth date. And again, I could come in here and I could fix this, and I could say something like born. You know, I can edit this however I want. I'm going to choose these three things and close this box. And now I'm going to say next. So it now brings me to this screen, and you can do all this searching stuff, or you can do what I was trying to do. And I think I have to go do it because I copied some other stuff since then. I'm going to go back and just copy my mother's person ID. Now I got to find the screen again here. And I'm just going to paste her person ID right in here from Family Search. So that's the only thing I'm going to fill in on this second page of the record seek. So now I hit the next, and it's saying, okay, well, why are you attaching this source to this person? And this is where I might have mentioned previously when we talked about that. I usually bring up a little notepad, and I'm doing this, I think, off screen here for you, but I'm just going to say this cemetery is where my mother is buried, along with, or in the same plot.
We're not seeing that.
Yeah, I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm typing this off screen. In the same plot with my father and brother. Okay, so I just typed it in this little notepad. Now I'm going to copy and paste it right in here. So this is what I was typing off screen that you can see. And I'll show you why I typed it off screen in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to say, oh, okay, now that I've got this, I'm going to create it and attach it in Family Search as a source. So it just said it attached it. It says, congratulations, new source has been created and added to. Now here it's got a little bit of a bug. It used to say who it actually attached it to. It hasn't for a while. I haven't reported it to them. I probably should. But it did attach it. So I'm going to try and change what screen I'm sharing again to show you that it attached it. So let's see if I can do that. Let me share again. Okay, so hopefully you're seeing my mom and Family Search again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go to the sources here. And we're going to look for June 8th. I'm scrolling down here. And here it is. Now, I happen to know that I'd normally find it at the bottom because I've added dates for all these other ones, and the Family Search sticks stuff towards the bottom that don't have a date attached yet. So I can pop this open and look, it's got the tags already for burial, sex, name. It's got all the information that we showed you before, the length, the citation, the description of the record, and why it was attached. And here it is already on my mom in Family Search. I didn't have to go mess with the source box like I was saying before. And again, I can come in here and I can edit this, and I can put in the event date of when she died, etc. Whatever else you want to do, you could come in here. If I'd forgotten a tag, you could come in and add a tag, but we got the record in here from record seek. Let's see here. Oh, so another, yeah, the other thing I was going to show is if we looked at that record, she actually was going by an alternate name. She was going by her married name, so you could come in and just add an alternate tag, or you could go back over to the details. And, I've got alternate names here. I could say, oh, well, this is a new alternate name, is Beverly Hamilton. And this is her married name. Then I can come in here, go to my sources, and I can scroll down, and here's that record we just added. I can tag it here now. So then if we come back to the sources and refresh, oh no, it does show it. It did add it. Sometimes I have to refresh the screen, but it shows that now she's got an alternate name attached to her. So very easy to work kind of hand in glove with RecordSeek and family search. But let's go show just a little more. So now if I come back to the details about my mom, I can come down to my dad. And let's go to him. And we want to copy his ID here. Now, if I can share the other screen again, hopefully I can find it. Okay, you seeing the RecordSeek screen again? Okay.
Yep.
So I didn't close this window, and from when I was attaching the source to my mom, you can see it has this button attached to another person, or view profile and family search. Now I should have shown you this to begin with, but first let's attach to another person. So I'm going to bring this up, and I'm putting in my father's ID now instead of my mother's, but you might want to have to go back depending on what you're doing and click on modify source. And you might want to change these things. So now I'm attaching this to my dad. This record isn't really about my dad's burial, although he's also found on that cemetery website. This is about my mom, but it says wife of Chester, right? So his name is there, and you can infer from that his gender. So I'm going to just say, okay, it's talking about his name and his gender. So I took off burial. So I can close this now. So I'm going to use this same record to attach to my dad with different tags than I did to my mom. So then I'm going to go back to, again, this is my dad's ID I already pasted in. Now I'm going to come back to this screen, and this is why I had typed this information off screen in a notepad, so I can just paste it in. And again, the cemetery is where my mother's buried, in the same plot with my father and brother. Now I could mix this up. I could say something else, but I just thought this comment's good enough for my dad as well. So now I'm going to create and attach. Now, again, the bug, it doesn't say my dad, but it does say, okay, it's been created and added. But now I'm going to click on this view profile and family search that I didn't show you before. And again, I probably have to go reshare my screen. So behind the scenes that you couldn't see, it switched me over to my dad. So it brought me right here from that button in RecordSeek. Again, now I can come in here to the sources, and I can come down again, looking for that June 6th entry, which again, I just happen to know was down here at the bottom. But click on this now, you see it says sex and name. It doesn't say burial, because I took the burial off in RecordSeek, but it has all the same other information. And again, I could come in here and, I could add an alternate name for my father, Chester. I could add the the birth date, so it lines up, the death date, so it lines up in this timeline. I could change any of this information I wanted to, but it was just that quick and easy again to add the same source with a little different information to another person. So I use this in particular when I'm finding, like a census record or something with a family of 10 kids. I just keep going, okay, copy their ID, bang, 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 and just keep adding it to all these other family members with just a couple of clicks. So very, very easy to add and modify as you need to, but get it right into the person on Family Search without having to go through playing around in the source box. Any questions about any of that?
Have to try it, then we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question, Scott. This
Yeah.
isn't exactly with respect to record seek, but it's with respect to attached records. Sometimes you'll see up in the hints, and you'll see, there might be 4 what look like to be identical records.
Yeah.
I've been attaching all of them, but as I go through them, I go, well, this is exactly identical to the last one and identical to that. Do you attach all 4, or do you just attach one and then say dismiss the others?
I attach all 4 just so that people who come behind me and see those same records or whatever know they belong to this person. Because I've run into places where even though they look like identical records, one was attached to one person and one was attached to a different person. And, so it created this confusion in the tree, and I had to remove it from one and add it to the other. So I just attach them all and say, well, for whatever reason, even though these records are essentially identical, they've been given their own identity in Family Search, so I attach them all.
Okay. I'll continue to do that. I think that makes sense.
I was gonna go to, where'd it go? Nope, this one. Are you guys seeing not Family Search, but this alicechilds.com, or do I need to reshare again?
Yeah, we're seeing Alice Childs.
Okay. So this is another blog entry that she created about Record Seek. It's describing how to set it up on the mobile devices, Android and iOS. I will readily admit that I tried it and I couldn't get it to work for me. I'd never done it before because I do most of my work on my computer. So if any one of you figures out how to get this to work on an Android phone, which is what I have, I'd be interested. Like I said, I couldn't get it to work. There was one other thing that was on the Record Seek window. Let's see, do I still have that window? I'm gonna try and share it again here. A little complicated switching back and forth here. Okay, so I'm just going to pretend like I have another person to attach this to. I'm going to say attach to another person. And I'm going to say I want to go back to this first screen. There was something here I didn't mention, which is the format of the citation. Now, I had never really paid any attention to this before. It defaults to MLA, and I never had any idea to even wonder about the format. There are apparently several different formats for citations. And I looked it up online. There's professional, there's academic ones and whatever. But the MLA one seems to work just fine. I have no understanding or reason why you would want to change it from the default. But again, where this supports Ancestry, maybe Ancestry prefers a different one. I don't know. I didn't ever try it with Ancestry. But I just wanted to point it out that if someone knows something more about the citations than I do, they could maybe share that. But Okay, that was what I wanted to show. Unless anyone has any additional questions directly about record seek, then we could probably end the recording.
That's fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love that.